Hanging Out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
On the Hanging Out feature this morning, we've got General Bantu Holomisa. I see some of your WhatsApps and your calls. I'm going to get to them in a moment. But first, General, I have to apologize.
Yes.
So I'm Pedi. Pedi.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone talks and then you
Tobela
say to them, Tobela. And you say to someone, oh my God, that means you're lying. That means keep going. So it doesn't mean you are literally lying. It means, hi, tell me more. So I said to you, uyaxoka. And a lot of you know, and a lot of people who are close are telling me, no, that's disrespectful to an elder, because it's different with us, Amapedi. When you say, oh my God, it means tell me more. That's interesting. So in Xhosa, is it offensive when you say to an elder, uyaxoka, or does it have to have sana for it to be light?
You deserve to be shamboked if you say that to an elder.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't shamboked, but I take responsibility.
Okay.
I'm gonna know better now. There are some WhatsApps coming through. Morning, Clement. I'm driving to Pretoria from Johannesburg, listening to your interview with Ubaba Bantu Holomisa, and guess what? I've just gone to YouTube to connect and listen to Blossom's song. Wow. That's a wonderful song. Thank you to the General for picking that song.
Thank you.
Yeah, another one says, Clement, great to hear the General on the radio. I also love that Namibian artist that he has just chosen. That's Jabu from Johannesburg. Someone else sent us a message saying they're listening from New York and Manhattan. Sure. They're loving the conversation. And then I've got this question from Kustas, who says, I'm going to find it here. Kustas says, hi, Clement, pass my greetings to the General. My mother likes him so much. She said he increased their teachers' salaries back in the day. Is that true?
Yes, what we did in Transkei then was to look at what South Africa was paying to its citizens. And from the people who were cleaning our government buildings up to teachers, soldiers, police, clerks, we raised their salaries to be on the same par with those of white South Africans. And Pig Porter was complaining. I said, look, listen, you have issued a circular to your own people, but in Transkei we don't practice apartheid, so you will pay for these salaries. They paid.
Wow, and Kustas' mom has been happy ever since. Okay, here's another song that is a big favorite by General Bantu Holomisa.
As a Nigerian gospel singer,
Messi
Chino, album Satisfied.
Oh, what a beautiful song.
The song is Tasted of Your Power.
Sure. Have you ever been in a situation, what's that one thing you think you have tasted God's power, where something happened and you really saw God intervene?
I think it was during the time when the Pretoria government realized that we are working with the liberation movements between 1988 and 94. And they attempted many the assassinations of myself, about 5. But they failed on all those occasions. We confirmed that when they went to TRC, de Kock went there to say, I was instructed by my government to eliminate Holomisa, we invade Transkei. We are here to ask for, what do you call it? Is it clemency or what?
Oh, clemency. Is that what they were asking for?
Coming closer to your name.
Yeah, it is.
They went there to be pardoned from prosecution. So
yeah, sure.
So those were the moments, and but unfortunately, I had such a strong military personnel in intelligence, because some of these things you'll be told after that we have done away with this. There was these people have been arrested, or this and this and that. So those moments, I mean, at one stage, de Klerk approved that there be an invasion in Transkei. And that I was part of that team which was going to be eliminated.
Yeah.
So that was their so-called obsession with what we were doing with the liberation movements.
Yeah. Let's take some calls now. Mercedes, you calling us from Bretts. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right. Good morning to the General.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
General, on a lighter note, I like your smile when you are in Parliament.
Does he smile a lot in Parliament?
A lot. When things is going his way, he's smiling a lot, and I like his smile. And there's a naughty smile that you can pick. Clement, I wanted to ask the General, how was his relationship with Madiba? It's like Madiba was fond of General, and what caused that?
Yeah, no, great question, Mercedes. Thank you.
I would say it was like a father and son relationship, based on the fact that when you are instructed by your parent or by your senior to do something or carry out a mission, you need to go back and keep that person informed. At what stage are you? What problems are you encountering? What kind of assistance you need in order to achieve the goal which he had given to you. So with Madiba, from day one, 5 days after he was released, I went to see him in Soweto, and when I arrived there, he came out and welcomed me and said, we were watching you while you were in jail, how you handled the issues of Transkei and helping the liberation movement. Well done. Thank you very much. And that same afternoon, Winnie Mandela came in and says, Bantu, there's one thing which we are not going to allow for President Mandela to be guarded by de Klerk's security forces. You need to make sure that your troops come here and guard that Mandela. Indeed, the same afternoon, so I conveyed the message to General Matanzima. I said, Chief, there is this message, but because we cannot just move into South Africa with weapons, clear that with the South African embassy in Umtata, and indeed that was handled easily. We protected Madiba until the MK cadres came back from exile. I think it was around June, July in 1990. And the rest is history, because after that, he was released in February. And then on the 21st of March, he had already said, Bantu, please accompany me to Namibia to go and celebrate the independence of Namibia.
Wow.
So all other trips as well to UN, to fundraise for ANC.
Didn't he ask you as well to join in campaigning for the ANC?
Yes, 1993, he asked me to join the other top 7 of ANC. So we campaigned for ANC in 93, 94.
Would you go back to the ANC?
To do what? And which ANC are you talking about?
You wouldn't?
The politics of the ANC are not the same as those of the 80s, 80s, 90s. Sorry.
What do you think is leading to the destruction of this organization?
The issue of corruption is eating in the body politic of that organization like a cancerous tumor.
The UDM was founded so many years ago, and you are still going strong now. Do you think, and you'll tell me about that proposal for a single banner opposition next day to unseat the ANC, but what do you think are the prospects of the UDM? Some of your critics often look at the party and say it's on a downward spiral. What's your assessment of the organization? Do you think it's still going to be here in the near future?
When we established the UDM in 1997 and went to Parliament, there were people who were already reading an obituary for the UDM. This year we are going to celebrate 26th year in the throne. And the United Democratic Movement has proved one thing, and that is you don't have to have big numbers in order to convey the message, in order for the country to listen. So we have been a voice of reason to many. And I'm happy the way the UDM has positioned itself to coordinate the activities of the country, and also to coordinate the opposition parties at times when there are issues of national interest. It was the UDM and other parties in the opposition which has led to the Zondo Commission to be realized. You will recall that the ruling party didn't want to hear anything about Thuli Madonsela's findings, or that there is a state capture in this country. It's understandable, because it turned out that they had been sustained by government monies. Read what happened to Bosasa. They were buying, or they were bankrolled with T-shirts, their rallies, rallies, congresses, feeding their people, using your money as a taxpayer. Whilst the UDM and other parties had to look around and try and say, guys, there's no money, but let us be committed to the cause. So I'm happy now that at least they are beginning to suffer like other parties. It's no longer a free road now for them. So I'm happy the UDM is here, and we are doing very well currently. In fact, we are celebrating because the word corruption, when I mentioned it in 1995 in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, that led to me to be shown the door, 1996. But today, everybody within that movement is accusing each other of corruption. So I'm just drinking coffee all the time when I watch TV. I said, yeah, that's it. I like this one.
Yeah. It's 9 minutes before 11 o'clock. When we come back, we'll wrap up with some of your questions. We're wrapping up our conversation with General Bantu Holomisa. Let me start with some of your WhatsApp that came through a little earlier.
Good morning, Mr. Manyathela. And to the General, good morning, salute. I just want to ask a question to the General. The relationship between him and Julius Malema. Does he see the future in coalition with the EFF one time? Because sometimes I see that they tend to have same ideas. Hamilton here in Springs.
Thank you, Hamilton. Your relationship with Julius?
You will recall that the UDM or myself then, let me put it this way. The UDM was the only party which was invited during the launch of the EFF in Marikana. And I was asked by the leadership of EFF to give them some words of encouragement. We have been working together ever since then. Even in Parliament, if you notice, when the ruling party was trying to protect one of their own, we always meet and we hammer the strategy with other opposition parties, including the EFF. The truth of the matter is that the EFF had actually changed the political landscape in South Africa. You may differ with the tactics they use, but the bottom line is that here is a group of young people who were loitering the streets of South Africa. And the commentators were commenting and saying the youth doesn't want to participate in the democracy. They came in with their energy. They put energy in the politics of South Africa.
Do you see a leader in him, a potential deputy president or president of this country?
Malema is a leader. There's no doubt about that. Whether the voters will put him there. But what I know, you can trace it from the Mandelas. They were energetic like them, shouting and so on. But what I know, once you get into the office of
it's different.
It's quite different because there are do's and don'ts there. There are certain protocols. But so far, the cause he is championing, people are listening to him.
Let's take Mlungisi in Dipkloof. Mlungisi, go ahead, quickly.
Hi, Baba.
Sure.
Hello, Clement. Hey, sithi siyabonga lapho man. Actually ne tiger lapho baba man. Insimbi ayigoki. So keep it up Baba Holomisa. Siyathanda mfana kithi man.
Thank you.
Sisho ukuthi hey man usiyela ama contact detail siyakuthanda man.
Because
bayakuthanda.
Jabulela mfondini.
Ivan in Kensington High.
How's it? Firstly, I don't know if you realize that when you speak to General Bantu Holomisa, that guy's a general in the real world sense of general. He wasn't just given rank. Number two, that guy can play rugby. Us Dutchies, us Afrikaners, we love him. He was playing rugby so well and he would score so often. They actually, on one of the fields, I forget which it was, one of the stadiums he played, they actually called it Holomisa's Corner.
Ten Stadium. I beat Karel Duplessis and Rob Lowe, the two Springboks. I remember that.
Exactly. I've just forwarded a photo of you, General, sitting with Serge Blanco, the French All Black all-time hero. Rob Lowe, Karel Duplessis. I mean, what an amazing team. I mean, you're an all-time all-rounder. And like I said, us Dutchies, we love you. If you can play rugby, you're good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Evan in Kensington, thank you. Sikonati Manchansha, the former spokesperson at ESCOM, sent me a message saying, Clement, I'm trying to do some work here and you and the general are making it difficult. Please give him my regards. He's a great man. My mother still has a lot to say about his mother. They worked together. So that's a message from Sikonati.
Clement, this is Mr. Sikau here. I want you to make Bantu Holomisa aware that in 1997 in the ANC conference, he became number one after Mandela. Even though he was expelled, he is still the most popular ANC NEC member. Hence, Mandela respected him till his death. Thanks. Les Sekau Shabala.
Thank you, man. Thank you for calling. So, there's one clip of you I always love. When I'm depressed, I'm going through, I play it because it is so adorable. It's just so amazing, and I want to remind you of it.
Government must do more to restore the dignity of our people. As the adage says, you give a poor man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish. You give him an no.
What happened there? Was it the auto cue?
No, the auto cue. The ENCA auto cue just
it froze.
It frozen, and then I was stuck because I was saying you give a man. Okay, you give a poor man a fish, and you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish, and you give him an occupation that will feed him for a lifetime. So that's what I was saying.
That's what
And then all of a sudden I said, this whole paragraph is only one line. Well, what's going on? I said, no, I protested.
You've redeemed yourself here on 702. Well, General, thank you so much for making time.
Thank you.
Really had fun getting to know you much better. I will contact you for that game of golf so I can shambok you on the golf course. So
you're welcome.
Get ready for it.
Thank you for the opportunity, man.
That's the General.
Thank you.
Bantu Holomisa. It's a minute before 11.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.